after a couple months, we were issued these prototype cell phones. Most of the employees in the company were issued the phones, and we were told to use them and test them and evaluate them. That's what we did for several months. I used that phone daily. The phone is designed to be operated with your thumb in a one-handed fashion. Being right-handed, I always held the phone on my right side. In early 1999, I had a seizure that was later diagnosed as a cancerous brain tumor. A mass growing in my head that was 5.5 centimeters by 5.5 centimeters, about the size of a tennis ball. The speed with which the tumors can grow is amazing. Cancerous tumors are rated on a scale of 1 to 4, and 4 being the fastest growing tumor. And a grade 4 tumor can grow from the size of a grape to the size of a tennis ball in 2 months. And mine was graded between a 2 and a 3, so we're guessing that mine probably took somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 months to grow, which would coincide with about the period that I was using the cell phone. I now believe that the phone was the culprit in at least triggering my brain tumor to occur. My brain tumor occurred right on the right side of my head, right on the temple, right where I held the phone.
What does the 1.6 watts per kilogram mean for the public? It's basically a safety limit, and it's a safety limit which has been developed by consensus of the Food and Drug Administration, the Environmental Protection Agency, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, NIOSH, and the National Institutes of Health. And it has substantial safety factors in it, 50-fold safety factors that provide assurances that these products are safe.
I think all of us here in the committee don't want to see 10 years down the line a situation like with tobacco.
We've collected credible scientific evidence from around the world that reports study after study of health effect or bioeffect at lower than standard levels. If this bar represents the standard, what is allowable, look at where these studies fall in terms of health effects reported at lower levels. Sometimes if you just put this on in front of a decision maker and say, well, you know, maybe we don't have conclusive evidence, but we have all these studies and they're all talking about health effects down here, and here's the standard. You know, something must be wrong. Maybe we should be careful. Maybe we shouldn't put this in the middle of a school ground, or maybe we shouldn't put it in the middle of a residential neighborhood, or maybe we shouldn't put it anywhere near people until we have a lot more evidence.
We found that cells inside the brain, after exposure to radio frequency radiation, have DNA damage. And these are so-called strand breaks. The DNA basically breaks up into pieces.
This is what's called a comet assay, DNA comet assay. The length of the comet tail there is quite long. All of those fragments represent broken DNA. Now what's important is that the FCC limit here is 1.6 watts per kilogram, SAR. Here we've only got 0.6 and here we've got 1.2. So these are still below standard. You know, conventional wisdom has that there should be no effect. They are clearly breaking DNA and or interfering with DNA repair.
In my experiment, I only expose animals for a short time. Now then the question is asked, what happens if you're exposed to radiation from, for example, from a cell tower? Of course, it's a long-term exposure. So the main question is, will the effect accumulate over time? Now there's some indication that they accumulate. So a long-term exposure to a low intensity may have the same effect as a short-term 1 or 2 hour exposure for high intensity.
Our office is located on the 3rd floor of an office building with another building just about 150 feet away that's at the same elevation as our office. It's 3-story. And it is now the home of 28 cell phone and PC